Hey there! I am so happy that you're here today. Take a few minutes of your day just for you to breathe, to relax, and to feel the calm. You're in the right place to pause, refresh, and maybe even find a little spark for your day. Hi everybody! Welcome back to my channel. Thank you all so much for taking some time out of your day to spend it here with me. I have some words of encouragement that I've written myself this morning, and I called this one Finding Peace in the Uncertain Waters of Life. There is a quiet kind of wisdom in the world that does not shout to be noticed. It does not rush, it does not force, and it does not demand that everything makes sense all at once. Sometimes, this wisdom can be seen in the stillness of nature, in the gentle rhythm of wind through the tall grass, in the slow drifting of clouds across an open sky, and the patient presence of a heron standing along the water's edge. If you have ever watched a heron, you may have noticed something remarkable about it. The heron does not thrash in the water trying to control every ripple. It does not anxiously pace the shoreline, worrying about where the next fresh meal will come from. Instead, it stands quietly, calmly, and patiently. Its long legs planted in the shallow water, its eyes attentive but peaceful. It waits. It trusts the rhythm of the water, and when the moment is right, it moves with graceful certainty. There is a deep lesson in that stillness. So many of us spend our lives believing that peace will only arrive once everything is solved, once every question has an answer, once every problem has a solution, once every path ahead is perfectly clear. We tell ourselves that when we finally figure everything out, then we will feel calm, then we will rest, or then we will breathe. But life rarely unfolds that way. Life is not a puzzle that reveals all its pieces at once. It is more like a river, moving, shifting, changing direction in ways we could never fully predict. Some days, the water is smooth and reflective. Other days, it is stirred by storms and winds that come without warning. And in those moments, it is easy to feel unsettled. It is easy to feel like we are supposed to have all the answers, supposed to know exactly where we're going, or supposed to understand why everything is happening the way it is. But see, peace doesn't always come from having everything figured out. Sometimes, peace comes from something far quieter. Sometimes peace comes from learning how to stand in the moment just like the heron. To pause, to breathe. To allow the waters of life to move without feeling like we must control every current. Standing like the heron does not mean giving up. It does not mean ignoring life's responsibilities or pretending challenges do not exist. Instead, it means choosing a posture of trust rather than panic. It means allowing yourself to be present without demanding that every question be answered immediately. It means understanding that life unfolds in seasons, and not every season is meant for clarity. There are seasons for planting, there are seasons for waiting. There are seasons where growth is happening quietly beneath the surface long before anything visible appears. The heron understands this instinctively. It does not rush the water. It does not doubt its place within the marsh. It simply stands, aware of what it needs will come in time. And in many ways, we are invited to live the same way. There may be some things in your life right now that do not make sense. Situations that feel unfinished. Questions that sit in your heart without answers. Or maybe even paths that seem foggy and uncertain. And yet, even there, even in the middle of the unknown, peace is still possible. Not the kind of peace that comes from control, but the deeper peace that comes from trust. Trust that you are allowed to be exactly where you are in this moment. Trust that not every step of the journey needs to be visible before you take the next one. Trust that life has a way of revealing what is needed when the time is right. Sometimes the most courageous thing a heart can do is simply remain steady. To stand quietly in the water of the present moment. To listen instead of rushing. To breathe instead of fearing. To believe that even when you cannot see the full picture, something meaningful is still unfolding. When you learn to stand this way, something beautiful begins to happen inside you. Your thoughts begin to soften. Your breathing deepens. Your heart loses its grip on the need to control everything. And slowly, a gentle peace settles over you, the kind of peace that does not depend on circumstances being perfect. It is the peace that grows when you realize you do not have to chase every answer. You are allowed to live the questions for a while. You are allowed to walk through uncertainty with grace. You are allowed to trust the quiet moments of life. Just like the heron standing at the water's edge, you can learn to trust that the rhythm of life is still carrying you forward. Sure, the waters may ripple, the wind may shift, the sky may change, but your spirit can remain steady. So, if you ever find yourself feeling overwhelmed by all the things you cannot solve right now, remember the heron. Remember the quiet strength of standing still. Remember that patience is not weakness, it is wisdom. Remember that life does not require you to have everything figured out before you are allowed to feel peace. And sometimes the greatest peace arrives when you stop fighting the unknown and simply stand in the moment, trusting that the waters of life know how to carry you exactly where you need to go. And just like the heron, you may discover that calm that you were searching for was never found in the controlling water. It was found in learning how to stand peacefully within it. So guys, those are my words of encouragement for you today. I want to thank you all for your time. And before you leave, could you please give me a thumbs up? Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, so you never miss another video. It's a free way that you can help out my channel. Thank you all so much for your love, your support, and your encouragement. I appreciate each and every one of you. You all have a fabulous day today, and I'll talk to you again soon.